Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washingtons and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 05 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Now P-Ryan gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Play action. It's Smith. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. And now a look at the Washington defense.
That corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the All-Pro, Navarro Bowman. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. Can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now a carry for P-Ron. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. They'll drop it off to P-Ryan, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. For Alshon Jeffrey. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And an alley to run. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They'll run it here with P-Ryan. So he got 3 at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Pirine. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw on 3rd down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, what a game. He was knocking on the door for 200.
And one of the things I saw come out of last week's game in his post-game press conference, he gave a lot of credit to the offensive line, as you might expect. He also talked about the wide receivers blocking on the perimeter, because no big game happens unless wide receivers block as well.
And watching film you showed me, he also made people miss. And they'll run it here. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 39 that time. So they went gutsy. Instead of getting some space with a conservative run, they throw the football at a big 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, that's just what I said, wasn't it? Didn't I say they were going to throw the ball?
Revisionist history.
Ah, that's right. But I took a shot.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense. Big play for the defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Flushed out right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm is going forward. Incomplete pass. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow here on goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And his throw is incomplete. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On third down, Smith got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And before they can get settled in here, time expires. The first quarter of action. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
On play action, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First target, first catch, and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And on the ground they go with a running back. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield, here's Wentz. It's complete, left side to Aguilar. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Wentz. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Elliott puts this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They start on the ground with P-Ryan. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Off of play action, here's Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Here's Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. Way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Tyrod Taylor with 1 touchdown pass thus far. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. To throw is Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Daron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Wentz now to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Out to the left here to Reed. Still shedding tackles. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. Given 9 there on the 1st down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get this.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try to chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Once again here on 2nd and 10. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Redskins scoop it. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Smith on 3rd down. He'll drop it off to P-Ryan, complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
So we've come to halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This fielded at the 2. And out of out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz completes it to Aguilar. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He sets to fire deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a short return to the 6-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run again with Pirine. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Smith on the catch. It's Crowder. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On 1st down, Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. A shotgun snap for Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richardson. Breaks the tackle now with Alley.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. A good pickup there at 22.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And they'll run it here. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And this one complete to Reed. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. That's good for a Redskin 1st down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now Smith looking to throw on 2nd down. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Brandon Graham in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has. That offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just
Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wins to throw on 2nd down. And a loose football. And the Redskins scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Again, here's P. running. Nice footwork at the 25. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And welcome back. We are in the city of... And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He'll get it up the middle. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Wentz now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. He got 29 yards that time. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll give it to him up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And he fires one, but incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Smith. He's got a man. It's his fullback. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, it's Smith. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Mike Bennett in there to get him for a loss of 5. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And past the 30, down to about the 27. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Ryan Kerrigan leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing is Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To the air, Smith on 2nd down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Smith on first down. This one caught by Crowder. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and he'll wind up losing yardage.
Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now Wentz. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
This complete left side to Aguilar. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They'll look to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. He finds Aguilar over the middle. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Back to throw. Oh, he stays up. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 36 yards. We're going